What's going on, you guys? It's me, the K, the N, the G, bringing you Hustle and Harmoniez. It's episode not one, not two, but episode 3. Yes, the bars, they will continue to come. But I'm gonna get serious because we are gonna kick the show off today by starting with possibly the best thing happening in my hometown of Miami this weekend. Yes, tomorrow night it is UFC 287 live from the now known Casilla Center, I believe it is how it's pronounced. I'm not sure, but we do know we do have an amazing card in store for us. It is going to be headlined by a rematch between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya, longtime rivals, bringing it to the UFC for the second time, but this dates back to their kickboxing promotions, where Pereira has undoubtedly owned Adesanya, and it just seems that Adesanya's demons have literally haunted him all the way into the octagon here at UFC, where Pereira took the belt from him in a 5th round TKO victory back in UFC 281 in November of last year. But we are sure to see either the legacy of Adesanya just be completely blemished by one Alex Pereira, or are we going to see the stylebender rise to the occasion and finally get that elusive victory that's been holding him back for quite some time now? And in doing so, he'll be capturing the title too. So just a little bit of a cherry on top of what would be a perfect night should the stylebender come through. But this legacy has undoubtedly been tarnished by Pereira. Still think stylebender is a phenomenal fighter. He has proven himself time and time again, holding that title, competing with the best of them, beating the best of them. This just seems to be the one person that has his number. And me predicting the fight, I am going to give this match to the stylebender. Yes, as much shit as I just talked, I do believe that he is going to be redeeming himself come tomorrow. I think it's finally time for him to exercise that demon that haunts him, and he is going to take that next step in the UFC and prove to people why he is still the man around there. But I have him winning in the 4th round by way of knockout. So could be right, could be wrong. Either way, take nothing away from Alex Pereira, win or lose. This cat has come onto the scene and just stunned the world, but now seems to be the favorite in this match for some reason. You know, he's there. I mean, maybe the reason is because he owns Adesanya, but with only a couple of fights in the octagon here at UFC so far, it's hard to tell, what the full length of his talent is, but only time will tell. Only tomorrow will tell. This is going to be a revelation of sorts, whether it come from one side, whether it come from the other. I know, very broad, but whether Adesanya wins, whether Pereira wins, the world is going to win. Those who tune in, those who paid money for those expensive seats will win undoubtedly, because this is going to be a fight. Both men with something to prove. Only one can walk away with the belt, so we will see. But what a final match to what is going to be an awesome card. We also know that the man himself, Game Bread Jorge Masvidal, will be stepping into the octagon as this hometown hero of sorts. He is back after quite some time off. He will be facing Gilbert Durinho Burns, who is, without a doubt, the gatekeeper at the 170-pound division. But Masvidal, at the age of 38, and say the old age of 38, but he is 38 nonetheless. This is old in sense of athletes, but still has some gas left in the tank. We'll see if it can carry him all the way past this card, past this match. He is, like I said, the hometown hero. He is home team. He has the advantage over Burns. Burns, obviously, with more fights under his belt in the time that Masvidal has been away, with obviously more victories as well. This could be Masvidal's final dance. with him even coming out and saying if he can't get through Burns, he just doesn't see a future in the UFC anymore. He will hang up the gloves from what has been eluded, but who knows? We know fighters, we know athletes in general have a tendency to change their minds when things like that arise, but it could be serious. We do know, I mentioned the age, and it is something to take into consideration. However, looking at it from the other side, should Masvidal take down Burns in what would be an incredible victory, we know Burns is the favorite heading into here. Masvidal is the heavy underdog. Regardless if he's home or not, he is the underdog, but we do know that this could be the last chance Masvidal has for a title shot. We know that we actually believed it was going to come after the Colby Covington defeat. However, this might open some doors for a possible match. He had come out and said, should he take down Burns, he wants to take that title and beat it over the head of champ Leon Edwards. So maybe a prelude to what would be another fight. However, we did see him get into a little bit of an altercation with another fighter in Kevin Holland. So who knows what Dana White wants to do with that, whether he wants to let real beef be settled in the octagon or he just wants to dismiss it completely. We don't know what route this is going to take, but this is not a match that is going to happen right now. Right now it is about Masvidal. It is about Durinho Burns. So that will be the fight before the fight, I would say. It would still be one to tune into. But the main card is going to be kicked off by 18-year-old upstart Raul Rosas Jr. Yes, we do know he is the Contender Series champ with something to prove. He's got one win already under his belt in the UFC, looking to make it 2 against Christian Rodriguez, a 1-1 fighter in the UFC. So giving him a step up as far as competition is concerned, but not enough to, deflect him or make him rethink about fighting. This is somebody who is, in my opinion, a beatable opponent for Raul Rosas. They're giving him competition at the same time, so we'll see what more Rosas has as far as his skill set. We know he's a phenomenal striker. He gets you on the ground, the match is basically over. Phenomenal grappler. This guy has all the makings to be a star. Even his personality has transcended. He's a social media darling, much like the Paddy Pimblets, the Conor McGregors. He's one winner, maybe 2-3 more wins, and he's going to be somebody. I think he's a name now, and I believe in this card he will get the victory over Christian Rodriguez. I believe this is going to be a step up as far as us seeing what more he has to offer us in the octagon. So I will take... Let's go with a second round submission from Rosas. I'll give him a second round submission victory over Rodriguez. I know I didn't mention the fight before, but I will give that match to Gamebred Masvidal. I don't know if it's the hometown bias, but I think Masvidal's going to come out there with a chip on his shoulder, and that chip is going to ride him all the way to a victory. An upset, I think Burns is going to take him a little lightly at first, and Gamebred's just going to come out the gate swinging. Not going to say he's going to Ben Askren his ass and knee him and take him down in the opening seconds, but I expect this match to go at least 3 rounds, but I think Masvidal walks away with that match. I believe Rosas walks away with his match and give me Adesanya in the main event. So those are my picks, and that is going to do it for sports today. We are going to turn it around now, and we are going to talk about Harmoniez. Of course, today is Friday, which means it is Fresh Music Friday. New releases, new artists, but none bigger than the returning Drizzy Drake. Yes, the GOAT has released a new single titled Search and Rescue that low-key features Kim Kardashian. You'll have to tune in to see what I mean. But same style, kind of that slow vibing music we're used to from Drizzy, at least as of late. But that typical wordplay, still amazing, still incredible. Not much I can say about Drake. You just know that every time he drops something, you gotta listen to it because he'd be missing out. He's the talk of the town no matter what. Anytime he releases something, is automatically gonna be number one. But I would definitely tune in Search and Rescue if you just want to relax, sit, chill for a little bit. It's definitely going to be played in almost every club now, I imagine. But worth it, worth the listen. Definitely tune in. It's Drizzy Drake. Can't go wrong. He is the man. Whether this means a new album is possibly coming out, I know we've been teased a couple of times, but new singles tend to lead to new albums. The mathematics will tell me that Drizzy may be cooking up more than what he has so far, but it is going to be exciting to see it if it does come to fruition. If I am right, I definitely want to see it. If he decides to come out with a collab album with an artist, I know J. Cole kind of teased something, but he's been teasing something forever. But anything Drizzy does, he is the King Midas of music. Whatever he touches is going to turn to gold. New Drizzy, Search and Rescue, it is out now. It seems that nobody's got more of a death grip in the world of R&B than sensation Daniel Caesar, who just dropped a new album, guys, Never Enough, which is pretty symbolic if you kind of listen to what Caesar's been talking about as far as what his album is. It's kind of a journey from self-doubt with his song Cool, very slow ballad, but you can see it transition into more upbeat types of music as far as R&B is concerned. But we do hear songs like Unstoppable, which kind of gives him reaffirmation, and even himself is quoted as saying, "Who's gonna stop me? He's unstoppable," which, yes, fans of him will definitely agree to that. In the world of R&B, Daniel Caesar, top of the game right now. New album, Never Enough, because Daniel Caesar seems to be unstoppable. Ellie Goulding is back and is taking over the radio waves with her new album, Higher Than Heaven. Now, Ellie Goulding has said herself that this is the most free that she has felt in basically her entire music career. Songs like Let It Die, which deal with leaving bad relationships and just being free of them, as well as songs like Better Man, which deal with finding inner strength and power, which is what Ellie is all about, and I commend her for that. Being a woman myself, that girl power is something I ride and die for. Having no worries is something that Ellie Goulding stressed with this album. She felt that making it was so carefree, and that led to some of the best music that she released in some time, if not her entire career. But this new carefree spirit of Ellie Goulding, now with a child, and after dealing with COVID that seemed to set back the entire world, not just her, but we do know that we all went through some things, but Ellie herself has explained that it was some rough times. But her new album, Higher Than Heaven, the new carefree spirit of Ellie Goulding, is something that is worth a listen. It has led to some pretty great songs. We see a lot of upbeat vibes, as well as her very laid back self, but all dealing with the sense of being free and freeing yourself from the things that hold you back. And Ellie, respect to you for that one. Do you guys remember when No Flex Zone was a thing? How about Black Beatles? Do you guys remember the people who sang those songs? Yes, those brothers, Ray Shremmer, they've returned. Shrem for Life, yes, their album, it is out now, guys. And honestly, I've given it a listen, and I'll be damned to say that these boys are back with a vengeance. This album goes hard for the most part. You have production by none other than Mike Will, Made It, baby. Yes, you have Zaytoven sliding on a track, Mississippi Slide. Give it a listen. This album has everything. Different beats, a different style in almost every single song. You have Flaunt It, which features classic style beats, kind of reminiscent of the old times. Some favorites you might listen if you have a good ear for music. You have Pump It, Tanisha, which is that old school club type beat, which just makes you want to get out there and dance. So it's almost like traveling through decades of music with this new album. I like it. I like the idea that they were going for. But the boys are definitely back. Shrem for Life. It's out now. Give it a listen, guys. It's gonna be the soundtrack of this season. I can reassure you that it's gonna be playing in every car. It is gonna be playing in every cafe. It is gonna be playing everywhere. So Shrem for Life, definitely give it a listen because it is worth the listen. Well, that is gonna wrap it up for me, guys. I wanted to keep it short, sweet, and very to the point this week. Wanted to touch on UFC since it is a big deal. Next week I'll be getting into more sports. I'm going to take that deep dive into my diverse mind of sports. I'm going to continue with the music thing, but I wanted to touch on, Drake releases a song, you got to talk about it. So I knew at some point that had to be a discussion, but wanted to keep this relatively short, sweet, highlight my predictions for this upcoming card. I'm very excited about it. Be sure to catch it. Once again, that is UFC 287 live from Miami, Florida at the Casilla Center, I think. Still not sure about that, but we're getting used to it, so we'll familiarize ourselves at some point. But that is going to be all for me. Until next time, peace till the next episode.